Marriage, the completely unavoidable topic when, I don't know, I'd say you have been with somebody for more than a year, maybe less depending on your situation and what kind of peeps you are. But as a 36-year-old dude, that's maybe where I'd put the general timeline. And so, thank you for watching the videos. I really appreciate your time. I truly do. It's a beautiful Saturday, by the way. I do believe it's Saturday. And so let's get started. I want to talk about marriage today. And so let's talk about a few things with marriage. Let's talk about marriage in the United States. Let's talk about marriage on a global level. And then let's talk about marriage in the future and as it concerns you as an individual. And so currently in the United States, our marriage rate is 7 to 8 people per 1,000 households and per 1,000 people. 7 to 8 marriages per 1,000 people, not households. And so check the link in the description below anytime I quote or cite, numbers and you want to verify. So, Avi, what I'm saying is accurate in that way. And so definitely check that out. But 7 to 8 marriages occur in the United States for every 1,000 people. To put that into perspective, and this is roughly been the same the last 2 decades, which is a little surprising to me because I figured, like, similar to the baby boomers or the boom period where people got pregnant and had children, I thought maybe there'd be like a pandemic boom, but that was actually not the case. And in fact, my speculation was completely off. I think people were playing video games and doing other things more than they were being intimate and having babies or getting pregnant or whatever. But that's just my theory on that because, again, we actually saw the marriage rate decline just pre-pandemic and during the pandemic when it was actually happening. And so there's always that. And to put this also into perspective, here in the United States, marriage rates have dropped by around 60% since the 1970s. And in 1946, the marriage rate in the United States of America was 16.4 marriages per 1,000 people. Now, can you guys imagine this, folks? Like, seriously, World War II ended in May of 1945, and in 1946, we've seen the largest marriage rate in our kept record world or database as it would be here in America. And so I think that's quite remarkable. It's quite remarkable to think that 16 and a half marriages took place per 1,000 people just post World War II. I think there's a bit of strange, bittersweet irony in that the worst of all things possible, war and on killing people and things. Once, people move past that, the most important things in life, in my opinion, come to, light for the masses. And I'd argue just with that stat alone that people felt like being married was really important to them, especially after being involved in a world war, hence the baby boomers, right? But that's, because children resulted from people getting married or whatever. And so there's always that. Worldwide, we're currently looking at around 6 marriages per 1,000 people. Now, this has dropped since the year 2000, when there was around 8 per 1,000 people, 8 marriages taking place. And so worldwide and domestically, we've seen a gradual decline in marriages per 1,000 people. And, there is no sort of argument on my behalf other than that extemporaneously speaking, I believe in marriage, and I think it's unfortunate that marriage rates are declining, but people absolutely should be empowered to make the decisions that they make, especially as it concerns their own individual private life, with a partner and or not, and with marriage. I grew up in a generation where there's one woman I would have married, and unfortunately that didn't work out for me. Who knows? Maybe she's not married and I'd still marry her one day. But I definitely will tell you that, in my personal opinion, people make mistakes. Obviously, you don't really want a mistake to be made when you're choosing your potential lifelong partner. However, that doesn't mean that it's not possible, one, and two, that you shouldn't, if that's something you seek, not pursue. It could be either for secular or religious reasons, or perhaps a little bit of both, or maybe just your own individual without, the secular part of that and or religion. That's just maybe what you want to do. But I strongly, again, in my opinion, I would not get married because of the economy, which is, again, link in the description below to check out these articles, which is another reason why young people say they don't want to get married, is because they don't they're not sure about the economy, which is again why I'd argue for just 100% assurance and certainty through in the economy through certain provisions as it would concern welfare and things of that nature. But again, those are just my opinions. And so marriage is one of those things. I think that as it concerns you as an individual, I think you should always have the option to get married and or not. But also understand that it takes two people. And the biggest thing about getting married is that from the beginning, and again, not like weird intimate conversations, but like, some people just don't ever want to get married, and that's fine. And if you're one of those people that do want to get married, but you're with somebody that doesn't want to get married and you think that you're going to change their mind, it's probably not going to work out for you, and you probably shouldn't do that, because that person has already said that they don't want to get married, and trying to change their mind is inherently opposite of just trying to get married to somebody or being married to somebody who loves you back just as much as you love them and wants to be married just as much as you do. And there's always that.